It's gone very, very sunny in the UK, but the clouds are coming and it's forecast that it's going to rain. So you wouldn't think it, mind. You've got a very scorching warmth, and I've got the dogs, Ella and Princess, out with me. So it's another Priscilla one. Priscilla Presley. I had a very interesting live this morning. I've had a bit of a crash course in the last 3 weeks. Intense learning about the rights and wrongs of what happened between Elvis and Priscilla, between Priscilla, Lisa Marie, and Barry Siegel, Priscilla and Riley Keough, all the financial stuff, all the property stuff, all the business stuff. And I tell you what, there's a lot to take in. There's a lot to take in.
Thank you.
All right. Cheers. Because so much has happened. You know, we could talk about the fairy tale romance that we've all been told for the last 40 odd years. And that narrative has carried on, even though they divorced, even though Priscilla has had a very long-term boyfriend, had long relationships with other men. But the story is always, you know, especially since she took back the Presley name after Elvis passed, and I don't actually know the date that Priscilla took that name back. But the story is always praising Elvis massively, going around the world praising Elvis, but always being asked the questions: how old were you? Was Elvis controlling? The very rude question is, did Elvis sleep with you after you had a baby? Did Elvis always leave you alone? Was Elvis controlling, and did he force you how to dress and do makeup and hair? Then obviously we've got the books, Elvis and Me, the film, the new Priscilla movie, which should never have been made, which we know didn't do any good for Elvis. None. Actually harmed his image, harmed his legacy. So there's so much to say, isn't there? Because the Elvis fans are so defensive against Priscilla and really want to vent why they're so upset. And some of these Elvis fans, they've been watching Elvis since the 50s. So they've seen it all unfold. They've seen all the different storylines and headlines and newspaper clips, magazines, TV interviews. They watched the romance from 1959. Then they watch it when she's waving off to him as he goes back to his life in America to do the Frank Sinatra show. And then people have watched them have a child, which is a very public thing. And they proudly come out of the hospital and show off Lisa Marie as a beautiful baby. Lovely pictures showing it. And then you have the engagement, which is clearly been videoed, or should I say camcord, what did they call it back then? Cinecam or whatever it was. And then you have the wedding, which was broadcast all over the world, in every newspaper, in every magazine. So it's all unfolding as this big, lovely, beautiful romance. But we're not really being told the truth, are we? We weren't ever told the truth. We were being shown the good bits. And eventually you get the rumours of the Mike Stone affair, the karate guy. Then you get the rumors that they're going to divorce, which does happen. Sorry guys, my arm's hurting. So then it's all over the papers that Elvis and Priscilla are divorcing. And then you've got pictures of Mike Stone with Priscilla in public, in plain view, many magazines. Someone has even told me there was even an interview broadcast on TV back then, showing Mike Stone and Priscilla stood together, and Priscilla proudly introducing Mike Stone, which is obviously very, very cruel. Then the divorce happens. We don't really know this, but there's a massive divorce settlement happening, and Priscilla keeps going back for more money and more money. But all along she's saying that they're still close, they're still very good friends. You've got the pictures of them leaving the divorce courts, making them out that they're still good friends for the sake of Lisa Marie. Let me just change my hands a minute. Sorry guys. Right, let's try this way because my arm's hurt. So don't forget, we're going back to the fairy tale romance that a lot of people, especially the people that are not like Elvis fans that really know the story, that really know the history, we're all buying into this so-called romance, but then it all goes terribly wrong, and then we have the divorce, and then for years after the divorce they're fighting over money. Then eventually Elvis becomes very unwell and passes away, and she takes his name back, starts using the Presley name, which I don't agree with. She had given up that name. Giving up that name was also part of the settlement, the divorce settlement. She'd had a lot of money and property and cars and a motorbike and a bank account, so she got her pound of flesh. Let me just put the dog back on his lead. Right, go on and say that. Oh, that's it. Dogs are happy. Okay, I'm still talking, right? So then eventually, after giving up the name, she takes back the name. And obviously, the name was taken back for money reasons, to help her career, to help her financially. Well, of course, that's upset thousands and thousands of Elvis fans, millions of Elvis fans. She comes across as very greedy. So then you go further down the road, and Vernon dies, and Minnie May dies, and Priscilla becomes the trustee of Gracelands on behalf of Lisa Marie. Even then, many financial things are happening that we don't know about. And years later, Lisa Marie Presley allows Priscilla to carry on running things because she trusts Priscilla. Everything seems okay. Business is booming. Gracelands is booming. But then this is when I think things change. Barry Siegel is involved. And if you look at the court documents that talk about the lawsuit between Lisa Marie, Barry Siegel, things were happening behind Lisa Marie's back. There's a possibility that Barry Siegel and Priscilla were planning a takeover of Elvis Presley Enterprises. This may have happened. Now, they tried to keep it a bit hush-hush. They tried to keep Priscilla out of it all. Priscilla was worried. Hello. All right, yeah, cool. So, anyway, Priscilla's worried that her daughter, Lisa Marie, is going to sue her because of what has gone on with Elvis Presley Enterprises and the 85% sale that happened of EPE. So in the end, from what I'm learning, Priscilla, to avoid a lawsuit, started selling off her main house and property and had a secret settlement with, and so did Barry Siegel and Lisa, to repay Lisa Marie, where Lisa Marie had basically been ripped off. And I think this was around 2016. And I think this is why there was a feud between Lisa Marie and Priscilla, because she feels her mother had overstepped the mark and had made business decisions and didn't tell her. And also Lisa Marie was unaware that Priscilla was paying herself such a large amount of money, $900,000 a year. But she had also taken, I think on the 85% deal when they sold off EPE, I think Priscilla made up to $13 million in that sale. Now, I'm not saying everything I'm saying is fact. This is things I'm learning and reading documents. And there's the feud. The feud is that. This is what I'm learning. And of course, there's many other issues. We've got Scientology issues. Lisa Marie, at a very young age, being thrown into Scientology. So do you get what I'm saying, guys? This isn't just about the romance that a lot of us fell for in the press through the 60s and 70s. We've got a very ambitious, career-minded person in Priscilla Presley who really did, I think, many times put money first. Money came first. And I think she has stayed this way. And even to the point of then having a lawsuit and disagreeing with Lisa Marie's will against Riley Keough and the twins, Finley and Harper. This money-hungry way has made Priscilla seem very inhuman. Let me just change arms again. She has come across very cold and uncaring, almost like she didn't love Lisa Marie, almost like power, the power of Graceland, the power of EPE had become more important to her than her own daughter, her own grandchildren. And this has infuriated Elvis fans. And because of it, I'm getting hundreds of messages, even asking me to not post videos about Priscilla Presley. Saying that if I post videos about Priscilla Presley that I'm not an Elvis fan. I promise you guys, I'm a massive Elvis fan. And when I'm reading all these different things about Priscilla, these corporate business decisions that were being made, especially the Barry Siegel situation, which I'm quite new to, I'm actually very shocked. I'm shocked that the mother of Lisa Marie Presley was behind the scenes trying to find out a way to gain full control from Lisa Marie Presley. I actually find it hard to believe, but it could be true. I'm not saying it is true, but it could be. And I think Marco Garibaldi, in an interview, even has said he witnessed them planning this takeover. I'm not sure exactly why, but Lisa Marie at some point found out this was happening, found out about the $900,000 a year payment she was getting, the fact that she had made a fortune from the sale of EPE, the 85%. Because I know Lisa Marie still retained 15% and had 100% ownership of Graceland. And I think it's still that way now. So I really do feel that Priscilla has lost her way because of money and I think greed. And this is why there's a disconnect between the public, the people, and Priscilla, because people are shocked with her behavior on so many different levels, not just with different boyfriends, not just with financial things, not just with Scientology, but also how cold she has come across after the death of Lisa Marie and Benjamin. She doesn't seem to be grieving properly. Now, I don't understand why, because I've seen the interviews, recent ones, and she's getting on with her life. There's been quite a few recent interviews, and she's still very career-minded for a 79-year-old. She's still loving going around the world, doing Elvis things. She's done a few other things as well, like Comic-Con. But people don't get it. They just want to see this woman grieve properly for her daughter that she lost not long ago. They want her to do the right thing with Riley Keough and the twins. They don't want to see her running around the world trying to make more money. So I'm starting to understand the intense anger from Elvis fans. And I've tried to say to Elvis fans, shouldn't we try and forgive her? I've tried to say, why are we being so hateful and even vile sometimes? And the Elvis fans are saying to me on my channel, no, we're not forgiving her. She's done too much. We're entitled to our opinions. We're entitled to be upset and angry at the things that she's done for the last 40 odd years. And then you've got the child bride book, which makes us all think that we've all been conned, we've all been scammed into thinking there was this lovely romance in Germany, but really it was all pre-planned with Cary Grant and maybe even Priscilla's parents to get Elvis, to win him over, to get his money, to move to America. So people are upset there with the child bride book. Now I can't say if it's true or not, but I can say it's upset the fans. So people are saying to me, why even mention Priscilla? Because she's done so much harm to Elvis. She's harmed his legacy. She's harmed his image. How dare she make that film? This is what people are saying. And eventually, the side of me that just wants to forgive and not to hate and not to be angry and upset starts to understand why I'm getting thousands of comments against Priscilla. Let me just put my arm down, it's hurting again. Okay, that's better. Don't I think make my arms like ache these lives? So do you get what I'm saying, guys? I'm starting to understand that these people don't think I should say one nice thing about Priscilla. Don't think I should forgive her or stop hate. They just feel entitled to be angry and upset with her and say whatever they feel. And these people, they break down the facts. They list all the negative, bad things that Priscilla has done. And they do it in detail. They've done a lot of research. It's not just hearsay. It's actual research. People have done their homework. So all these hundreds of things that people are saying to me that Priscilla has done wrong, to Elvis, to Riley Keough, to Lisa Marie, and that she was a bad parent, and that she's a money grabber, and that she's cold and calculating, and that she's sexually has been very naughty. Obviously, we know she was also unfaithful. So then that makes me backtrack. It makes me go, well, hang on a minute. What did she get up to? And then we find out that in '68, she had an affair with her dance instructor, Steve Peck, and even took him to the '68 comeback special. And then you see how public the romance she had was with Mike Stone, who was Elvis's friend. And the way that she kept going back for more money, more money, more money at the divorce, she comes across very greedy. And I'm starting to think, do you know what? The subscribers on my channel are right. She went too far. She went for the jugular. It was take, take, take. And not just financially, also emotionally and sexually. And even as a parent, on every level, Priscilla Presley has made some serious mistakes and unforgivable mistakes. Now, I'm not going to hate Priscilla. I'm not going to say vile things about Priscilla, but I will say this. She owes the Elvis fans, the Lisa Marie fans, a massive apology. She needs to have a proper interview, not a whitewashed interview like we saw with Piers Morgan, that is all pre-rehearsed and the questions were pathetic. We need a serious interview with Priscilla Presley, going right back to 59, going through the decades, and her responding to the questions that are being asked. Did you have affairs before? Hello? So, sorry about that. In 1960, 1959, were you seeing other boys? Were you truly a virgin? Because she's saying that she was a virgin. But Child Bride is saying no, she had many relationships. Then we want, when you did come to Graceland, and by the way, she was 17 when she came to Graceland, not 15 as she has said in some interviews. But then when she did come to Graceland and Elvis was off doing his movies, and we know he was also being unfaithful, but were you unfaithful, Priscilla, in the 60s, in the early 70s? Were you also being naughty? Because she can accuse him of being unfaithful. But if she was doing it as well, it's different, I think. We need some serious questions asked about that period. Then we need to jump ahead and ask, why is Priscilla taking all the credit for the launching of Graceland and saving Graceland? Why is Priscilla taking all the credit for keeping Elvis's legacy alive, when we know that Elvis's legacy has been kept alive by millions of people, millions of fans for the last 40 odd years, not because of Priscilla? If anything, I would say that some of the things that Priscilla has said in interviews and in her book, Elvis and Me, and the movie Elvis and Me, and now the Priscilla movie, has harmed Elvis's legacy, has harmed his image, and caused some hate towards Elvis, and made Elvis get painted in a way that he wouldn't have been if she just kept her mouth shut and didn't twist and exaggerate things to suit her narrative, her story, to suit her fairy tale. The fairy tale that they had this lovely romance that only went wrong because he was controlling and unfaithful, which is not the truth. It is not the truth. We are not being told the truth about Priscilla. And even now, after watching a couple of hours of financial things with Priscilla, I'm actually quite shocked. And when I read the Barry Siegel situation, I was very surprised. And then you've also got, she's in litigation now, isn't she? I'm trying to remember the person who is suing her. I think she set up a separate company. But anyway, I can't go too into that because I don't know all the details. But what I'm saying is that I'm going to have to back down and admit that Priscilla went too far, has gone too far, is going too far, is still going too far. And many of the things can't be forgiven. Now, for Elvis fans, I say this. We can stick to our opinions and we can voice our opinions, of course, and I respect everyone's opinion. But we don't have to be nasty or vile or hateful, but we can have our views. I don't think I can say that people should forgive Priscilla because too much has gone on. Anyway, guys, I'm coming to the end of my walk. Hope you enjoyed that. Quite a serious live stream, but thanks a lot and have a great day. Please leave comments. Thanks a lot.